I hate sports sometimes. Welcome along once again.
Longer.
What? To the what now?
I swear your pause gets longer and longer each week, man.
Well, I've noticed, right, before I do my intro, it cuts half of it off. So, I want to avoid the technical gremlins and get the words out properly. Anyway, I'll try again.
Try again.
Anyway, Monday's third and long podcast is on the air. Gentlemen, how are we? Incomparable Shane Harris. You know me by now. Mr. Philip Perrins to my left, our beautiful baby Hope above me, and Oliver Butler Henderson, who has interjected himself in my intro and thrown me off. Thank you so much. I'll start with baby. How was your weekend, my old friend?
My weekend was great. Bolton won the game in Fergie time against Darren Ferguson. The Niners went and beat those people we don't talk about in Dallas.
Ha.
Them boys.
And I had a good week and I won money betting, so all good.
Yeah, Baby Hope wins betting. That's a story that everyone doesn't need to know.
I know, water's wet, grass is green, Baby Hope wins his bets. We know. But you also went bowling yesterday, didn't you? Did you win?
No, got absolutely annihilated.
Right, he's good. So he lost.
Yeah, was that a case of letting you win, or was that a case of you being rubbish?
She hit 150. She scored 150, so.
Oh, bloody hell.
Mr. Perrins, how are you, my old buddy? You okay?
Hey, how's it going?
Is going to be open next week. Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry, Mr. P, how's the first day of half term, but?
It's been pretty amazing. Like the new Saints won the other night as well, 2-0. Like just keep building on our momentum. Shane's just as excited as I am. Then naturally my Newcastle United decided to rain on my parade, and Eddie Howe decided to make the team worse with every single week. I don't think he's long for this world, just like Eric Ten Hag wasn't.
You were away at Chelsea. Like, that's a tough game.
Yeah, but we got absolutely battered against, say, Everton, and we got battered against Fulham, and we got battered against, who else did we lose to? Brighton. So we're just really
team to play against. Come on, we all know that.
It's the Premier League, everybody. Every game's a hard game.
How are West Ham, Ollie? How are West Ham?
Hey, I'm happy. They got 10 exact.
I mean, how did Diego Dallo miss that totally open net?
So did you also interrupt me as well, because I was still talking about my weekend back here?
Stop stroking your cat and come and join us.
So I'm literally stroking the cat as a big. I didn't really sleep well last night, and I don't really sleep well when the 49ers are on the late games. So I woke up at about 2:30, and then I ended just watching the rest of the game in bed, and watched how we nearly threw the game away. But I'm sure we'll talk about that when we talk about them boys. But the 49ers just continue their reign of dominance over our long-standing rivals, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
On to you.
13 wins on the bounce now, something stupid like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't lose to Dallas.
Not a bad weekend, mate. It's quite nice being 2-6. Never thought I'd say that.
We'll go on to fairly shortly, I imagine. I feel quite sick. My weekend was all right, apart from United capitulating again, which, let's be fair, that sword was hanging above Balder's Best's head for the next time he tripped up against West Ham. He did. The worst thing is, I went to see my parents on Saturday, which was lovely. I took young Neil, friend of the show, my buddy. A lot of people on the show know my buddy young Neil and Kurt. we went up to see my parents. We had a couple of cans. It was really nice for my Bristol family.
How a couple was involved, knowing how you drink, Mr. Harris.
A couple more than that. Yeah, it was nice, like I said, for my Bristol family to meet my actual family. Worst part is, OBH, my dad's a West Ham supporter.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, a bit of stick on Sunday. And yeah,
I've got an advantage. My dad doesn't support football.
I'd much rather that, in honesty. Yeah, so I got back into Bristol about 4:00 Sunday afternoon. And yeah, just in time to watch that shower of you know what in Cleveland. But again, we'll move on to that fairly shortly. Where do you want to start?
2:00 or the one that kicked off at 5:00?
I think he's referring to the one that kicked off at 5:00.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Just checking. Because let's face it, there wasn't much good football for you on over the weekend, was there, Mr. Harris?
No.
on both shapes of the ball. Right. Shall we roll on the Thursday night football, gentlemen?
Yes.
And let's talk about that decision. Yeah, Sam Darnold nearly had his literally helmet ripped off his head, and yet the officials couldn't see it when there was two.
There were two within about 5 yards then.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And I'm not going to say that he was going to go down the length of the pitch, they're going to score a touchdown and get the 2 points conversion, but it took the game away from them. It took them the chance away from them. It was a ridiculous decision, and the fact that they come out and said they didn't have a clear view of this is ridiculous. Now, I said on my socials the other day on Friday morning that is it time that decisions like that goes up to New York for them to make the choice? What do you think, John?
Here's my issue with that. They kind of tried that and it didn't work.
When
they made pass interference reviewable.
I forgot that was a thing, if I'm truly honest. But this, this is a scoring play. Because it was a safety, so it was a scoring play. So surely this should be a reviewable play.
Yes, but there needs to be a line. I agree with you that they need to somehow fix this. But I just think they tried doing this because, well, to be fair, face mask isn't subjective. But for subjective phase like pass interference, there needs to be some kind of clear guideline.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this. I mean, there's been enough controversies. We'll talk about. I'm not going to talk about the Max Verstappen 20-second penalty, which made me so happy on Sunday night.
You should have got more.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll put this into our soccer terms, okay? For people who don't watch American football, there's too much inconsistency. So on last week, Arsenal played Bournemouth, and Saliba got sent off for being the last man, around about 40 yards away from goal. So a long, long way away from goal. And at the weekend, Tottenham, I can't remember who the striker was, ran through, and Mickey van der Ven brought him down, being the last man, was only given a yellow. Why? This is where it is, inconsistent. They were both last men, yet one was yellow and one was a red. The one that was further away, the goal was a red. I'm not saying either was right with either one before anyone jumps on going, and all that. It's the inconsistency that's the issue, and it kills the same in every sports. You know, football does it, NFL does it, Formula One has it. It's different stewardings and different officials read the rules differently, and this is where the issues are. And I know Mr. Perez is dying to involve in talk about this.
I think it's become in the era of a million different camera angles in every sports event. Like you said before, like whether it's NFL, whether or not it's football, F1, basketball, badminton, tennis, 10-pin bowling, darts. So because we have more camera views and there's more media coverage, and the amount of money and stakes is risen because of it. I think that's when the pressure comes on the officials more so than, say, 20 years ago or 30 years ago or 40 years ago. So I think because we're still holding on to that it has to be a human in charge of making those decisions. We're relying on human error. When humans make that error, it's like, the start of World War III. So I think it's either we go to a like an AI kind of like automated service, or we pull back on the camera angles and the media access, and only one of those things is going to happen. So I agree with our general consensus here. It's the inconsistency that creates the controversy. Sorry. So whether or not that is like perfect for like media outlets for like clickbait and hot takes on various radio channels and news stations
and podcasts.
It's that inconsistency that I think is driving fans away from all sport. Because it's one thing, it's one thing having this access, it's one thing having this technology, but then when you're spitting it back in the face of like, the fans, the teams, the play, like all this kind of stuff, that's where people switch off and get less involved. I mean, you've just said yourself here, like Arsenal and Spurs, that inconsistency would be the exact same thing. And certain teams getting certain seemingly rubs of the green where other teams literally feel like they have the book thrown at them. And that has a negative effect on everything. And, the officials, I would never want to be an NFL official. I would never want to even be a referee. No. I've done it I've done it in school fixtures where I've been the referee and I've hated it because of just the pressure that comes with it. So I would hate to be in that particular instance, but at the same time, it's that interpretation that ultimately it kills the game. It kills it dead, and it's not a given that Sam Darnold would have driven 90 odd yards, scored a touchdown, and got the 2-point conversion. But you took that opportunity away from him in a very blatant situation. So that's where it falls in that that fine line of is it incompetence or is it corruption? And that's where it kind of like, I know you just instantly put your hand up because I mentioned the word corruption in sport, and oh my god, that's never happened in the history of ever.
That's not what I want to say.
Okay, it's just because your hand went up as soon as I said corruption.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with corruption.
Conspiracy then.
Okay, so their excuse was, I didn't have a clear view. How many are there? 6 NFL referees?
Yeah.
So there's 6 NFL referees and New York. You see his head snap back, and none of the 6 saw it.
No, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, this is why I said, look, New York could have gone, guys, you might want to look at this, because how many times did this on Sunday, I saw them score a touchdown or make a play, and literally they held the play because they were reviewing it.
Yeah.
Like making sure there's the 2 feet down, the play was in, and all that. It was one of those situations, and it doesn't take 30 seconds or it doesn't take 5 seconds to go, yeah, he's had his head face marked. I mean, even the LA Rams guy went, oh my god, I've screwed up.
Yeah.
Surely that's an indication to go, oh, hello. I'm going to throw a flag here, and then we could discuss it. And if it's a no flag, then it's fine. I'd rather them throw a flag, discuss it, and show, okay, it's not a flag. We picked the flag up, fine. It's nothing. Then them not throw the flag and make a serious costly error.
So I'm going to use a soccer example. As a referee, you know straight away if you've made a bad decision from the reaction of the players. Like, I'll admit this once. Once, I blew for a penalty, and in the split second, I changed it to a dive.
Wait, that's not right. Yeah. Wait, that's not right.
Hang on. Can I ask, what age were you reffing?
Under 12s.
Okay, I better tell Noah not to make sure you're not ref any of our games.
because
he doesn't die.
From the reaction of every player on both teams when I blew for that penalty, I knew I'd made a mistake.
Okay. Fair enough. Did you book the lad for diving?
I didn't because I thought it was a penalty.
Fair enough.
I wasn't gonna then go and book the lad for diving because I think it probably was a coming together, but I think there probably wasn't enough contact there for a penalty.
Fair enough. Right, let's roll on to the actual game. And LA looks so much better now that W1A and W1B are back.
Yeah.
They have that serious threat. And DeMarcus Robinson, dare to say it, was the best of the three wide receivers. Yes, he only had 35 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And Jefferson, what did you say about Jefferson on Friday, Shane?
I say a lot about him, and I think the bet that was on Paddy Power was 100 plus receiving yards and 1 touchdown. He had 115 plus receiving yards, but he couldn't break the plane with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, there was one drive, literally went Jefferson, Josh Oliver. Okay.
Yeah, Josh Oliver scored.
You're going to play that game, are you?
Misdirection.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game, end to end, proper game. It just shame it was soured the way it ended. I don't know what you guys think about the game itself.
I agree. Yeah.
It was a good offensive game. Both teams played well, but then obviously this decision kind of decided the game.
Yeah, which is the same, really. Okay, let's roll on to the Sunday games, and let's start with our first prediction game, which is the Atlanta Falcons. Mr. Perrins, why did you choose this as prediction game 1?
So I actually thought this. I mean, at first start, it's a nice little divisional game, and I just thought like the contest of Baker taking on Carr was going to be really, really interesting. And I always try during my prediction weeks to pick games where teams have similar records, are in similar form, and it's not as straightforward to predict. I actually think I predicted for Baker and his Bucks to actually win that contest. But I was really, really enjoying it right up into the fourth quarter. I thought it was a really, really good contest. In fact, I even thought at one point the Falcons were going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, you could see Baker's reaction at the end. It was like a minute and a half left, wasn't it? And it was an error, and it is just, it's a, oh dear, that kind of made a mistake on that one. Despite not having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Baker still threw for 330 yards.
Baker's low-key having an MVP year. I know we don't want to say it out loud, but he's putting up really good numbers. I mean, this Bucks team is not, superstar Super Bowl caliber. They've got some good players, but I do feel like he is making some of those players better than some of their parts. And I've been just I have been really, really impressed with him. This is the Baker that I'm sure Browns fans wished that they kept.
Can we not mention the Browns, please, yet? Can we sort of keep that name to a minimum, please?
Baby.
I love that Phil picked this game because this is an old school divisional matchup.
Yes.
These two teams, they do not like each other at all.
Thursday Night Football 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was kind of an old school game. I mean, I think although Baker did have a very good game, you could see he was missing his WR1A and his WR1B.
Yes.
Because those two are 2 superstar receivers. And I think if they'd have had him, then even maybe one of them, I think the result would have been different. But, Bucky Irving had a game. Rashad White played quite well. I can't even remember the name of the wide receivers, but they played okay.
Tight end had a good game.
But on the other side, Bijan Robinson had a night. Kyle Pitts, 2 touchdowns, I think.
I know. The resurrection of Kyle Pitts has been brilliant.
Pardon?
They were AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates interceptions. They were good picks as well. They weren't like humbled picks. They were proper picks.
So the Falcons stars shone on a night they needed them to.
Yeah, completely. I mean, Kyle Pitts was lucky he took the ball over the line on the second touchdown, mind you.
But tight end score on National Tight End Day. It's a thing.
Oh,
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I got a little bit of a fact about that in the roundup game, But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a good game end to end. I will admit I was more focused on the game in Foxborough at the time, but I had Red Zone on the other screen, and it was an entertaining game. It was, they were wearing that lovely crimson jersey. I really like that jersey. I think it's a smart jersey. The whole stadium looked like it was in that jersey as well. It was really impressive. It was really, really good. Even Sterling Shepherd got a couple of receptions as well. It was really good. And Ollie found that so boring, he decided to yawn. Right. My game. Woohoo! Sorry, I've got it written down on my phone, so I know because I send it right. Running order. My name. Woohoo! We have gone to 2-6. Yay! Go on then, Mr. Perrins.
Two quick things for me. Thing one, I was the only one that said the Pats were going to win. And thing two is, I know I mentioned it in the chat, but Aaron Rodgers used all 3 of his timeout by the middle of the first quarter.
That's bonkers.
This is, I mean, this the shape in how your division's going. As in, the Pats are very much locked in to a whole rebuilding phase, like a proper rebuilding phase. You're 2-6, you're buzzing your tits off, and understandable. The Jets are a Super Bowl team with a Super Bowl roster, with a hold on a second, they fired their head coach and didn't replace him with anybody. But this is a team that's spending an obscene amount of money, put all their chips in the Aaron Rodgers and friends box. And they're 2-6, and they couldn't be further from happiness. And I just really, if we take all our fandoms out the way for a second, I'm looking at you, Shano, and I'm looking at you, baby. I really want this Pats team to be rebuilt and go for it with young talent, young face rot. Because it's not that we want to forget that Bill Belichick existed, but I think it's time to move on. And like how Manchester United have struggled to move on from Fergie.
Couldn't help it, could you?
No. But to use a similar comparison, because you can't think of either franchise by not being the equivalent to the other one, and it's going to take a while for that Bill Belichick kind of phase to disappear and a new coach to come in and instill them. I mean, don't forget your head coach also coached under Bill Belichick as well, so that tree is still there. That influence is still there.
Just to be clear, as much as flack I do give Ollie, I do actually like the Patriots, and I would like to see them rebuild and actually do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the grand scheme of the NFL, you can't argue past that the New England Patriots with Brady and Belichick are the greatest dynasty in NFL history. You literally can't. Their Super Bowl caliber says it all. I mean, in terms of how many they got in the space that they got, eclipses, say, the Steelers and even us, because we won 5 Super Bowls in 13 years. So, the Patriots were able to keep that and then, get one extra on top of it.
I think Mahomes and Reed might be getting close to that in a couple of years.
I think Patrick Mahomes just needs to I'm not going to say it on there. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But I mean, so this Jets team is properly becoming toxic, and I can't imagine many players on that roster thankful, happy that they're there, despite of what they're getting paid. Do you think Devontae Adams is going oh man, I'm so glad I got out of the Raiders to play for a worse team?
Yeah, but he's with his mate. He's with his mate. He should be happy he's with his mate. This is what it is, right? Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers, even when he's last year in Green Bay. And he still wasn't the best. I mean, that was MVP Rodgers, mind you, as well. Right? But he still didn't look his best. And he got outplayed by Jacoby Brissett, who got benched for the rookie Drake May. Mind you, Drake May looks like him. Is him. A rushing touchdown. He had 3 rushes for 46 yards. He was only 2 yards behind Mondre, and Mondre ran the whole game. this guy is Josh Allen 2.0. Quick, he's strong. Took a late hit, which took him out of the game, which I'm surprised I was no flag on that one. But yeah, the issue is in New England is there seems to be a toxicity in the changing room at the moment. One of them has been kicked out today to the Chiefs. Happy hunting. There seems to be that issue, and our wide receivers cannot catch. Okay, Pop Douglas had a tricky one, but Tyquan Thornton had one in the numbers. Kayshon Boutte had one in the numbers. Kendrick Bourne had one in the numbers as well, and all three of them put them down. Okay, Boutte came back and had a really good game, made the touchdown and the 2-point. But until they get these issues fixed, with O-line looks better now, looks stronger, only took 2 sacks and 19 pressures over the whole game, and this is meant to be a very good Jets defense. Last year, this was a top 5 defense in a lot of the categories. But it now seems to be that the Jets are the team with the issue again. They're being New York again. And I do think the common denominator is Aaron Rodgers in this time. The team doesn't look happy. He looks old and fragile now. Mr. Pete?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of like this metaphor earlier on in the day when I was on my exercise bike, and Aaron Rodgers is Robert Downey Jr. Now, hear me out here. Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay was almost like Iron Man-esque. Okay, he was like the MVP. He was like the cool alt guy that was, really talented and great at football. But like, he would say controversial things and he'd get picked up. And then he was a hero. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been multi-time MVP. And now he's gone to the New York Jets to wear another shade of green. And now he's become Dr. Doom. Like, that's essentially it. He's become Dr. Doom. He's literally leading an evil army where he's turning everybody against each other, but he's still some form of messiah, and he's getting all his team around him to kind of like do his bidding, and he looks miserable and all his intentions are evil, and he is essentially Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. He's gone from hero to villain.
Yeah.
Over here, what's the score with Drake May? Is he out for long? Because he left the game with concussion, didn't he?
Concussion protocol.
Okay.
So I mean, it wasn't a big hit. It wasn't. You didn't see these 2-1s. He got up and he completed the drive, and all that as well. Because he got up in his spine. He didn't like it. I think they took him in to check him, but it was a late hit. He giving himself up for the slide, and the guy came down with the crown of his head and hit the back of his head. Cross. It was a glancing blow. So it was late hit. Should be flagged. Another one where inconsistency does it. But yeah, we roll on to 2 and 6, and one of the rumored problems in the change room got traded today, Josh Uche, which, if that is true, happy days.
Now, what is the problem? Because like you alluded to it, and you mentioned it a wee bit in our WhatsApp group, but do you want to just like say on air, like, what is the alleged issues with him in the change room?
The issue is that we'll ignore the soft comment that Joe had made last week, because that's fine. They're playing soft. That's what it is. But there's players that are staying out late, eating the wrong type of food, and not doing things properly, and caused services in the change rooms. And he apparently, the rumors are, he was one of them. There's a couple of wide receivers are there as well. The ones that have been a bit noisy about not getting targets are the other ones that are causing issues as well. They're also wanting out. As long as they don't get rid of Hunter Henry, because he's our number 1 target, I'm not really worried about who they trade within reason.
I mean, if you could bring that bad mojo and bad Uju to Kansas, I'll be over the moon.
Uche's gone to Kansas, mate. He can take it there. But yeah, it's almost like these players are going, Belichick's gone. We could be. No, I'm not going to do it. We could be idiots now, and
yeah, we could be like Tio, and like
you could just single prima donnas. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, Shane, I'm going to let you get your misery out of the way now, mate.
Thank you very much. Sometimes there's an old saying. Sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield. And unfortunately, the Ravens were indeed the bug yesterday, squashed by a very, very good very, very good Cleveland Browns defense led by the incomparable Myles Garrett. The Browns won 29 points to 24. The Ravens were missing Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins at corner, which made a massive difference because everything Jameis was doing was pretty much coming off. He had his first start in over 2 years. His numbers were 27 for 41, 334 pass yards and 3 touchdowns, which included two Cedric Tillman, basically, who hit the game winner to Cedric Tillman with not long left on the clock in the fourth, where we needed the ball back. We got the ball back for about 20 seconds, but could not do anything with it. It was very much a case of our receivers were dropping passes. Rashad Bateman dropped absolute ball, which would have got us a first, and he literally hit him in the chest. And Kyle Hamilton dropped a pick, which probably would have won us the game. We were winning by a point. We'd had the ball back with not long left in the fourth. I think this was the very definition of a trap game. It's the first game the Browns have won in 5. It's the first game the Ravens have lost in 5. So, Ravens are facing the Denver Broncos next week. I hear that. Ravens are facing the Denver Broncos next week, who are also 5-3 after beating Carolina yesterday. But the Browns go up against, just double check who they've got. The Browns go up against the Chargers next week. So you watch them just drop that game as well. You watch them drop that game. What worries me now is I'm speaking with a bit more passion now because my Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, serious voice has changed back into more of my personality, and Phil would know what I mean when I say that. The Steelers are playing the Giants tonight. The Steelers win, they go top of the North. Tonight, didn't blue for the Giants. Got to pull for the Giants tonight. We can't have that horrible towel twirling people going top of the North. I cannot stand it. But as I said,
the best thing is I have a yellow duster in there. I have a yellow duster.
If the Steelers beat the Giants. If the Steelers beat the Giants.
I know. I'm trying to be an unbiased broadcast journalist.
Right, I'm going to bring a yellow. I've got a yellow duster in there. Every time you talk about the Steelers, I'm literally going to start twirling it.
I would like to talk about the as I said, for God's sake. Oh, by the way, and yesterday, as we've already mentioned, it was indeed National Tight End Day. I did buy a Mark Andrews jersey from a shop in Bristol on Friday, which is American sports. It's called SoFab Sports. So anybody's about in the Bristol area, it's a lovely shop. Yeah, I bought a Mark Andrews jersey. He scored for us yesterday, along with David Njoku, who also scored a touchdown. So yeah. Ollie, do you have any fact about National Tight End Day yesterday?
Yes.
Would you like to tell everybody this fact?
In a bit.
I think we shouldn't tell anybody about the fact. We should just keep it to ourselves.
Mine.
I
mean, like those seagulls on Nemo go, mine.
Nick came in a couple of minutes ago saying it's fun to watch the decline of Alan watches.
You goddamn right it is.
Oh yes.
You watch him go to Minnesota though and get to the NFC Championship game.
I'm beating Niners. I'll be funny.
Right. It seems to be that Cleveland managed to stop your run game. They only rushed for 124 yards the entire game, which is one of your lowest rushing games all season. If not, I think it may be even your lowest rushing game all season. You are a rush first team. I know we always take the mick out of you. Oh, Lamar's a running back because he is a run first quarterback. We know that.
RPO, baby.
Ollie said it enough times that if you make Lamar throw the ball, you will lose the game, or you will win the game, or Ravens will lose the game. Was that the case yesterday?
As I said, it was a lot of receivers that were dropping passes. Rashad Bateman dropped one, which should have given us that fourth. Zay Flowers had a really good game yesterday. He was targeted 12 times, caught 7 for 115 yards. Likely had 4 catches for 4 yards, 47 yards as well with that. Mark Andrews caught all 5 that were thrown to him for 36 yards. So the only one that was basically not pulling his weight receiving wise was Bateman, who was targeted 20 times and only caught one ball for 20 yards. So he was, I mean, boys, let's be fair. If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. It's done now. There's not a lot to do about it. Brush on the carpet. Move on to Denver next week.
So is that a roundabout saying yes?
Yes.
Right, just checking on that one. Just checking on that one. Okay, let's roll on to the next prediction game, which is Miami against Cardinals. And you chose this one because, Mr. Perrins.
I went into it thinking that regardless of Tua being back, that the Cards were going to win. Yes. And I just thought because Tua and Kyler are very similar, and Kyler's having a really good season, and it just feels that after when I watched them play us, when they, comprehensively did beat us quite well, Kyler and the intuition that he has with his wide receivers is very much on point, as proven by when you see my play of the week later on in the week. And I just thought it was going to be a really, really interesting game. And it was. It ended really 28-27 was a really, really good game. I know our friend of the pod, Andy, was devastated that he still have yet to see the Dolphins win live when he's been there.
0-6, you corrected me earlier.
0-6, yeah. I'm with you. I thought it was 0-3 or 4, but no, it's 0-6. So I'm really sorry about that, Andy. But yeah, I thought it was a really, really good game. Thoughts, gents?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was on at the 5:00 game yesterday, which was really good. Trad Ryland can actually kick field goals. He couldn't do that in New England, but he can kick them for Arizona. But yeah, I mean, I did worry whenever anyone went anywhere near Tua or he ran. I was like, oh God, he's going to... No, not again. And it happened. But he made a good run. He did all right. He played well. There was some rusters in there, 28 from 38. But yeah, I mean, Tua, he rejuvenated that team. Mr. P, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to go back on to. I should have mentioned it earlier on. Yeah, I'm still in school. Visa. I do wonder whether or not it gets into the mind of the line, basically anyone on the defense when Tua's on the field, that when you are either through to get the sack or he's running into open field and he's going to get tackled. I do think whether or not Tua inadvertently has an advantage, because if you're a defensive player, you're half going, I need to stop him, and then the other half of your head, because this generally does happen having played, go, if I hit him and I hit him as hard as I know I'm going to hit him, we're talking 900,000 pound of pressure, am I ending this guy's career at the same time? And because it's been so publicized through Tua, the Dolphins, the NFL, the whole, the safety element, he's 4 concussions because his head scrambled eggs anyway. I do think whether or not he will have a bit of an advantage. I think, I'm not saying he's got a full advantage, but a bit of an advantage of players being hesitant, because if I hit him, he is done. I am ending this man's career. And I think you have to be a special type of sociopath. We're talking like Lyle Alzado from the 80s when he played for the Raiders type of sociopath, or the New England Saints in Bountygate kind of sociopath.
Vontez perfect.
Huh?
Vontez perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think whether or not that's playing into the head of some of the players on defense for the remainder of the season. Thoughts, and I'm just going to come to Hendo first, because you've obviously played as well like me. What would you think going in that situation, knowing that if you hit him,
I can take him out of the game. If I hit him right, I'm taking him out of the game.
Yeah.
If you have,
but not just hitting him out, but if you're in that situation where you can end his career.
I mean, obviously we played Brit ball, and it came around. It wasn't when I played. Probably the same as you. The social media wasn't as big where it is. You still heard about people's injuries and all that. I was going right.
Yeah.
Damn! If I wrap him up wrong, I'm snapping his leg again.
Yeah.
I had a couple of concussions. One wasn't one was a nothing one. It was just a coming together of helmets, and the other one was got absolutely levered by a lineman because I was trying to sack the bloody quarterback. And you do know if playing on the other side, if you get hit and you've had to come from a concussion, you do almost take a second guess of yourself, going, "Am I going to get hurt if I'm doing this?"
Yeah.
I mean, I had to quit because of my knee. Not from playing concussions. So I think I would have played for another 2 or 3 years. But I quit because of my, knee surgery, so I had to. But I know that these guys are professional sports guys.
Yeah.
And they don't have to go to work the next day to earn a living. They get paid no matter what. And he has that in his advantage. But he also has, you saw his press conference throughout the week. He seemed to be very strong-minded going, no, I'm playing. I'm going to get hit again. I know I'm going to get hit. I'm playing no matter what.
And it's one thing saying it, but then it's another thing. Like I could literally stand in front of anybody and say, yeah, I'm going to knock out Mike Tyson if me and him got in the boxing ring. I've got to play. Like you would, like I'm going to, if I get Conor McGregor in the octagon, I'm taking him down. There's no way. And then there's another thing actually doing it. And I just feel for Tua that he must think that he's on legitimate borrowed time in terms of a career.
Oh, God, 100%.
And not just like a typical NFL career. We're talking one hit, one falling on his back and whiplash, or one face mask that pulls his neck in the wrong direction. It's the same in pro wrestling, Shayna, when we would watch Daniel Bryan and we'd go like, oh my God, Daniel Bryan could be dead. Or Austin or Stone Cold Steve, like when Stone Cold came back and had that match against Kevin Owens. I remember that watching WrestleMania going, oh, please don't kill him. Please don't kill Stone Cold in the ring. Don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Get up, Steve.
Baby Oak.
Okay, so you can tell we're getting off topic when those two start talking about wrestling. So let's
it's relevant. It's relevant.
So you guys want to talk about? You guys talked a lot about Tua, so I'm going to talk about the Cardinals because I feel like they deserve some credit. I mean, Kyler had a great game.
Yes.
I mean, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, also rushed for 20 yards. But I want to talk about Trey McBride, National Tight End Day, 124 yards. This guy is slowly becoming one of the best tight ends in the league. For me, he's coming into that Kelsey, Kittle, and Laporta brackets.
See, when you say tight ends, you talk about obviously Kittle, Andrews, Kelsey being.
Who's talking about Andrews?
Yeah, this season nobody's talking about Andrews this season.
As in, you're talking about them being like the old guard, they're coming out, they've been there, done it, got the great, the great ones have done it over the last decade or so. And now you're looking at like McBride, Laporta, Carl Pitt, this next group of tight ends that are coming to try and take their mantle, trying to be the next great lot of tight ends. And yeah, I'd like McBride. I liked him when he came out of the draft a couple of years ago. He's big and he's strong. And there's a good guy coming out of Michigan called Loveridge. Yeah, Loveridge.
Something.
Yeah, he's going to be
Loveland.
That's it. I don't know. There's a Michigan fan upstairs. But yeah, so yeah, I like McBride. There is another good group of tight ends coming into this league at the minute.
And also Marvin Harrison Jr. had another game, over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Oh my God, his touchdown was amazing.
111 yards and a touchdown. And James Conner, I've never rated James Conner, but he always seems to be consistently good.
You never rated Conner?
No, I don't know what it is about him, but I've never thought he's that good. But
I know what it is.
He just seems to put up consistent numbers.
Yeah, I know what it is now you said that.
You know what I can't do? You made the right choice.
Right. You say about Marvin Harris Jr., he's a great player. This is his reception yards this year. 4, 130, 64, 45, 36, 0, 21, 111. The most inconsistent player in the league. Yes, I know he's a rookie, but Jesus blooming Christ, his targets are 6, No, sorry. 3, 8, 11, 6, 7, 2, 6, 7.
Like bathroom taps, hot and cold.
I mean, I did think his touchdown play was amazing, but I do agree, inconsistent as anything. But then that might be because he is youth on his side.
Yeah, I mean, I think Michael Wilson in there is probably the most underrated wide receiver in that group. I think he's an absolute brilliant wide receiver, Michael Wilson. Had a good touchdown as well yesterday as well. But yes, next game is that we are talking about. I can't remember because my phone's went off. Oh yeah, the Bears against the Commanders. Is there any reason you chose this game, Mr. Perrins?
Yes, it is. Oh, you've got two young stud quarterbacks going head to head. One has come out of the draft with a lot of buzz but has failed to deliver, and the other one has come out of the draft with less buzz and is over delivering. It is really fascinating on social media to see. I know social media, you can take it with a pinch of salt, but like you just see how, Williams is, Daniels is being loved by Washington. Like they cannot believe he is as good as he is showing, and the Commies in the last couple of years have not, really had much to cheer about. Not since, say, the RG3 and Kirk Cousins, and then not being the Redskins anymore, and then the football team, and then going to like the Commanders, and then Schneider being like removed, and you have to think like a lot of Commanders fans haven't really had anything to celebrate, considering that they've won 3 Super Bowls. They were a top team in the 80s and early 90s. So it's kind of nice to see another contender that's not your usual bunch, and just see the Bears just not be as hot as I think they hoped they were going to be, because a lot of people had them down for like early, favorites for the playoffs and obviously take their division and all that kind of stuff. But they haven't really, I've not been that impressed with the Bears as a whole, whilst I've been very impressed with the Commies.
Yeah, I mean, who would have said at the start of the season Washington would be second after 8 games in the NFC?
Yes, 6-2, bonkers.
Yeah, Mr. Hope, you patiently had your hand up for a few moments.
So I think Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus have to make a decision about what they're going to do about Tyreek Stevenson. Is that the right?
They've criticised him, haven't they? He's got to concentrate on football.
I think they need to either bench him or cut him. You don't do that. You play until the ref says that's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Then you can goad fans or taunt fans or do whatever you want within reason. But you play until the ref announces this is the end of the game, and everyone comes on the field and shake hands.
I don't think they'll cut him. Yeah, he's having a bloody good season, Tyreek Stevenson.
I don't think it matters. They should bench him then. If they don't want to cut him, bench him for a few weeks. You need to show the players on your team that you can't do that. Okay, Flicker said that Hail Mary is amazing. Bears got pretty excited they won the game. So, yeah, I agree that Hail Mary was amazing. But I think but I want to focus on what the Tyreek Stevenson should not have been. He had his back to the play.
Yeah, it was like his fans pointing, going, "It's live, ball." Yeah. And I think if he run across, it was him who tipped it.
It was him who was meant to be covering Noah Brown.
I thought it was him that tipped. It was him that tipped.
No, it was him that tipped it as well.
Or was it? I thought he was the one that was meant to be on Noah Brown.
So he goaded the fans, blown man to man, tipped the play. I mean, he literally tipped it, and it fell straight into who scored it for the Commanders?
Noah Brown.
He literally tipped it, and I don't think Brown realized how easy he had it, because he literally was like going, it was like catching an egg. Like he literally went straight into his arms,
into the basket.
And I just Christmas had come early. It was brilliant, and it was a Halloween trick on the Bears. Like it was just not. Yeah, again another great game. Another great game that went straight to the wire.
Halloween treat for Noah Brown and the Commanders.
It was, I mean, it was a very defensive game. The Bears have to thank their defense keeping them in this game.
Yes.
It wasn't until the last quarter where Caleb Williams got something going. He had less than 50 yards into the last quarter. He had 95 yards in the last quarter. So he got himself going. But it took DeAndre Swift's 56-yard touchdown run to actually spark that game, spark that team into life. But yeah, it's strange without them. I mean, we saw Caleb in London 3 weeks ago, and he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. Yes, against a terrible Jags team of that day, but Caleb Williams and that Bears offense was brilliant and absolutely flew. But yeah, it's one of those situations, isn't it? I don't know what it is. The Washington are shocking a lot of teams. It's almost like Schneider has taken the handbrake off that team and give them a new energy.
Well, it's almost like, to keep in the theme with the Halloween, it's like Schneider going has they've been exorcise the demons.
Exactly right. Your game, boys.
What's this I see? Hottest team in the NFC. Niners.
Yeah.
So can we have our usual introduction, please, from Shane when we talk about the?
We have to.
Can we please have our introduction, please, Shane?
Famous.
I'm not bitter or nothing. So yeah, Dallas Cowboys faced the world famous
San Francisco 49ers.
Yes,
there's so much energy in that, boys.
Or something to carry on.
So we were missing 5.
Here we go.
High-end starters. In my opinion.
You were playing the Dallas Cowboys who could beat themselves.
Yes, but you need to at least be there to let them beat themselves. And I'm not sure if you guys get deja vu much, but the 49ers beat the Cowboys and Dak Prescott throws multiple interceptions.
What year is this?
The BBC full of repeats.
Yeah, but Dak Prescott, I read something today, and it was a stat that Dak Prescott has thrown more touchdowns in garbage time when his team is getting trounced than any other quarterback in the league.
But then we're talking about like Stat Padford kind of like exactly. Stats, then aren't we? Like that's literally what Matt Stafford was doing for years. Where I was like, we're getting hammered. No, just throw the ball to Megatron. He'll make me look good. Oh, he did. Oh, I have a Super Bowl now and he doesn't. Oh,
for me, the only difference between this game and the other San Francisco 49ers Dallas Cowboys game is that Dak's getting paid about $30 million more this year, and he's still choked.
Yeah.
Flick has said, I mean, great game, guys. 49ers were the better team. I mean, I feel sick just saying that, but great job. Flick, how does it feel? How does it feel having a quarterback that just can't get it done in a big moment?
I couldn't do it.
Shane, how does it feel having a quarterback?
I mean, so I just
very often baby makes a funny, but that was a good one.
Two things really stuck out to me yesterday. Thing one, from the positive point of view, is every single one of our rookies that we drafted are balling. Like, this possibly could be the best draft class I think I've seen the 49ers have in my lifetime. Because from having, I can't pronounce his name properly. Is it Guerrero? I kept calling him Guerrero last night. He is rapid as anything.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he breaks, Yeah, as soon as he breaks, he's gone. Ricky Pearsall had a great coming out game as well. I think he's going to really fill the void.
One for 39 yards.
Yeah.
Just be nice to him.
I think they said that Gwendo was a state champion 100 meters.
Yeah.
But in high school, and his 4 time I think was 4.33.
Yeah, I think Purdy had a great game. To be fair, I thought Brock, he started shaky, but he grew into the game when he realized it was the Dallas Cowboys and he owned them. My only concern is Kyle Shanahan still blowing leads in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
it should not have gone down to the last play.
That
really shouldn't have.
That, and in the first half, we're still struggling to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean,
From the red zone.
McCaffrey's back training after your bye week.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that I'm excited about. We have a bye now. We have effectively a week off and a week of training. So 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
So Debo has time to recover from pneumonia because I know
he went down injured with ribs again.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a poor injury. John Jennings back. Kittle been carrying a knock. McCaffrey potentially back. Another week closer to getting Dre Greenlaw back. Another week closer to getting Hufanga back. And Jake Moody should be back because I'm sorry, I don't trust Angus Carlson.
We don't really trust Jake Moody either. I mean, that's considered like we've watched him choke in big games when it matters.
Why Green Bay cut Carlson.
Yeah, there's a reason why Angus Carlson was available in October. I trust Jake Moody more because Angus Carlson last year was 41 from 47 in extra points. That's not good.
Yeah, I know. I'm not disputing that, but then I've never really forgiven Jake Moody for missing multiple field goals in the Super Bowl that would have won the game for us. But
I mean, the Jets kicker, I can't remember his name, has missed.
Greg the leg.
Yeah, Greg Zuerlein has missed 6 field goals and 2 point afters in the last 3 weeks.
Oh my God!
But yeah, you're right, Phil. Gwendo had a great game. Pearsall looked like a player. I mean, Kittle showed out on National Tight End Day.
So, I mean, I think slowly. Who's our 77 that plays O-line?
Pooney, he's had a great season.
Oh my God, he's been phenomenal as well.
Whoa. Did you not know your players' names then?
I didn't know. I actually full on didn't know his name.
He is a rookie.
Yeah.
But if he played for the Raiders, he'd know.
What? No, maybe. But then we've got like Mustafa as well, who's balling. Mustafa's been phenomenal.
And Renato Green too.
Yes. So I mean, all our rookies have been balling since the start of the season, and I think if we can keep that core, like we will, obviously on their rookie contracts and so on and so forth, I think whatever moves that we have to do in the off season won't be as detrimental. But then that's talking about future us. I do worry that if we lose George Kittle, that tight end threat is gone. We don't have any backup, and that's been another failing in general.
You off one now, don't you?
Yeah.
To build, to learn and teach, like Casey have done with Gray.
Yeah, I would look to pick up maybe 2 in the draft next year.
Yeah, I think we tried that with Latu and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I was never convinced by him. Anyway, I don't want to go into it too much. We get 2 weeks off. That means this week is Raiders week. So we'll just a bit of R&R in the Bay.
Breaking news: Raiders have decided to forfeit the rest of the season.
Oh no!
Minshew was our second. No worries at all. He looked handsome, even more handsome in purple, black, and gold.
Oh my God! I would love Minshew to be back up to Purdy. That would be one killer partnership.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the astronaut.
Is he only with us for the season?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Anyway, he seems to be our third string. We seem to have Brandon Allen as backup.
Yeah, I don't rate Brandon Allen. Sorry.
I think what it is Josh Dobbs is a bit more of a different quarterback to Purdy. So I think given a week of preparation, it would be Josh Dobbs, but to adjust on the fly, Brandon Allen. That's what I think it probably is.
As I said, anyway, where do the Cowboys go from here? I don't care.
The Cowboys are in dire trouble. McCaffrey is out of a job at the end of the season, no matter what, because let's face it, his contract's up there. I'm not going to renew
McCarthy, not McCaffrey. McCarthy.
Yeah, McCaffrey does his show on ESPN. McCarthy is the one that's running a clown show in Dallas.
That's McAfee. McCaffrey's the running back for 49ers, whose shirt
It's because It's because I've got the Cowboys bit covered up, and I can only just see the 49ers. So yeah, I got that in my head.
McCarthy, McAfee, McCaffrey.
Yeah, we've got to be careful because I might get confused with the
tomato.
and then in Miami, there's McDaniels.
Put them on your desk, write them down. And at McDonald's is the McRib.
Oh my God, yeah, it's back for limited time.
Yes.
Oh God, we're not sponsored by McDonald's, but if you do want to sponsor us, McDonald's, right?
Flicker said the Cowboys are just going down. They are struggling.
Where are the Cowboys? So they're 3 and 4. So they must be third in their division.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys win, and if the Giants win tonight, do they go 4th in their division?
Yeah, that's a big if. That's a big if, though, isn't it?
No, I mean, he's got. Is it Tommy's, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants?
Yeah.
Giants have won 2. So if they win tonight, they may leapfrog the Cowboys.
But what's the record in the NFC North?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think the Cowboys remain third.
And it's the NFC East.
Let's go round up. Let's round up the rest of the games. Let's start off with the Sunday early games. The Sydney Brown comes out of the battle of the Brown twin brothers as the Eagles bump the Bengals 37-17.
Jalen Hurts rushing
the early front runner of Offensive Player of the Year, maybe. Josh Jacobs runs in 2 touchdowns as the Packers beat the Eagles 37. No, beats the Jags 37. I'm
going to say
you're going to put my teeth back in. Bear with me. Despite Jordan Love leaving the game early with a groin strain, has someone really annoyed Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson because the Lions have run up over 40 points for the 3rd time in the last 4 weeks as they battered the Titans 52-14. The Colts are now putting some beds onto the sideline for Anthony Richardson to have a sleep during the game because he was feeling tired midway through the 3rd quarter in yesterday's defeat to the Titans.
Did he actually leave the game because he was tired?
Yeah, he tapped out because he said he was tired.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because he had a new haircut or what, but yeah, it's ridiculous.
He was out for
the Chargers defense has showed a massive improvement in Jim Harbaugh from going one of the worst defenses last year to being one of the best as they put in a strong performance in an 8-26 victory over the New Orleans Saints, who've lost the last 6 on the bounce now. The Seahawks didn't do any fighting on the pitch. They left it to the fight between themselves on the sidelines as they lost to the Bills 31-10. The Panthers have slipped to 7-1 and Bryce Young's returned to the starting lineup as they lose 14-28 to the Broncos. The Chiefs moved to 7-0. That's getting boring now as they beat the Raiders 27-20. And with yesterday, as we've mentioned several times, being National Tight End Day, there was 16 touchdowns from 117 receptions scored by tight ends yesterday. Is the most on National Tight End Day. And we do have... Oh, he's gone. I was about to say, we do have a former tight end in the corner. But he's literally just gone, what's the internet? So, yeah, I mean that's...
The tight ends haven't been great this season. National Tight Ends Day comes and they absolutely pop off.
It's almost like the offensive play call has gone, yeah, just wait until October 27th and you can get all the balls and all the touchdowns. And literally they've gone, their season targets have gone in one game. It was brilliant watching the Titans scored. I mean, Carl Pitts tried to drop one on the line before he crossed the end zone. Tried, but that didn't happen. So tonight's game, we have got Giants Steelers tonight, gentlemen. I think I know where we're going to go, but let's talk about it anyway because we have to, because it's a TV show that we're going to do. Daniel Jones against Russell Wilson. Fields has a injury of some description. I think it's his hamstring.
Yeah. I think so. It's definitely his leg.
Russell Wilson looked incredibly good last week, didn't he? Really good on prime time last week.
I mean, the Steelers, they're just an incredible team, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in the NFC North, aren't they?
Yeah, they're far and away the best team in the NFC North.
AFC North.
They're quite finished. They're quite finished. Honestly, this is like a red flag to a bull for me. Let me tell you something now, right?
No, Danny it's not red. It's yellow, mate. It's yellow. Danny
tonight, right? He's going to go 400 passing yards. And they're going to win, I don't know, 27-10, whatever.
No, it's all right. Daniel Jones will trip on the 5-yard line on his own feet.
Probably.
They're going to win again. They're going to go 6 top.
Also, Shane, how good are Pittsburgh?
I hate it. I really do. This is as bad to me as admitting how good a team Liverpool are.
I've got a little TJ Watt pop vinyl which I'm trying to sell. I'm going to send it to you and you can have him.
Well, I do need firewood. On this case, fire plastic. But boys, you can't look past them. I hate to say it. The only one thing they'll win tonight, guaranteed. There's only one thing I'm looking for at the minute is to see who they play this coming weekend, or if they've got a bye or something. Because I don't keep up with their fixtures, because why would I? After the Giants, they have the wait. The Giants.
They're going to go 6-2 tonight, which means they're a game up on you.
Wait.
I mean, they've not played anyone in your division yet, and they're 4-1 in their conference. So at the moment, even if they are to lose tonight, they will still be above you.
They've got a bye next week. They've got a bye next week, but the week after, they go to Washington.
That'll be a great game. We seem to have an issue with Mr. Perrin not being able to get back into the studio. I mean, some might say it's a blessing in disguise. I mean, I love Mr. Perrin, but so are we going?
There's one thing I love watching with the Giants, and that's a little rookie wide receiver known as Malik Neighbors. How good is he?
Oh, God, yeah. He is ridiculously good. You're going to say probably one of the best rookies he's put the season so far. Brian Thomas has had an outstanding season for the Jags, although he's gone out for 2 to 4 weeks now with...
Lad McConkey scored 2 touchdowns yesterday for the Chargers.
Oh, my God.
There are some very, very good wide receivers out there at the moment.
Yeah. We could have taken Lad McConkey. If we hadn't traded back, we would have taken Lad McConkey. We traded with Chargers, and they took Lad McConkey with that pick. I was like, I wanted him. How dare you? But yeah. Can New York cause an upset?
No.
I think they can. I don't think they will, but I think they can. If Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence can cause havoc in that backfield, and the O-line can protect Daniel Jones, then they can. However, I don't see that happening.
No. Our defense is not performing anywhere near to its caliber. And this is a tough ask for any team at the minute. The Steelers are rolling. And I always knew when they brought in Wilson and Fields, I knew they'd be a different animal this year. TJ Watt is doing TJ Watt things. But I hate to say it, they're going to win again tonight.
I mean, Dexter Lawrence, though, is having Defensive Player of the Year season.
Yeah, he is.
Leading the sack. He's leading the tackles. He is the heartbeat of that defense at the moment. He's having a Pro Bowl season as well. He's being outstanding. Outstanding on that one. Do we have anything else to talk about tonight, gentlemen? Or is that it? Because I know Mr. Harris likes to interrupt my exiting speech.
I don't have anything.
No, I'm all done.
Shall I buy you a yellow towel, mate, to wipe those tears tonight?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No.
Right. We'll be back on Thursday night on your screens, 8:30 as per usual. You'll be able to download this episode tomorrow, 8:30 from your listening devices, wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Amazon, Google, wherever. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. Good night and stay safe all.